snap. I hate these helicopters, man. They're we call them helicopters. They're the seeds from the damn maple tree, man. And it's like the maple tree is the last tree to get out there and drop all these things. And it's like having fall in the springtime. You get they grow in the gutters and get plants. I mean, they grow trees. They get in the flower pots. You got little maple trees everywhere. Having more of them damn helicopters. Good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, does not work. It's cold out here tonight. It has gotten windy. Sometimes the wind has been blowing so hard, it sounds like a freight train coming through. And at least the leaves are coming out on the trees, so things are getting green. We had some rain yesterday and today, and it's making everything look nice and green. And it's the winds, maybe, of change, okay? Winds of change is what I'm going to call it. Let me turn this down a little bit because the way the wind's blowing it, it's going to blow right on around here. So we've got the draft in the books, okay? I want to say thank you all for watching and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Shout out to Game Time Brian, Primetime Phil, Walker Wade, and even Momo calling in a couple times, and Uncle Philip. I am so appreciative that everybody watched. It's crazy now how YouTube has become the platform. I remember doing the draft probably 6 or 7 years ago, and it was just like Law, it was Vosh, it was me, and Philly 500. In fact, I did the Philly 500 meltdowns with when Jalen Hurts was drafted, with Carson Wentz and everything else, and had him up on the screen. I think I was the innovator that did that, having the draft show and following it and stuff. And that's where Philly 500 and I have become really good friends and things. And it's evolved now. Now the Cowboys have the draft show and stuff, so you're following, all their big people. You got Kavanaugh, and he's got, Clarence Hill and David Moore and all those guys. The Law Nation's doing his, Philly 500's doing his, I'm doing one, Game Time doing this. Everybody's doing these things now. And I'm so grateful that you guys tune in to watch me. Thank you. And so my observations on this is, well, first of all, I just posted a video about Pro Football Focus gave us an A+. Can't believe that one. Just was reading another one, USA Today gave us a B+. Okay, that's not bad either. As opposed to the one I saw for the first night that gave us a D. In the end, all of this is speculation, and you just don't know. You made an educated guess, hopefully in the right direction, of what you hope you'll have happen. There's no guarantees on any of it. Zero. So you make the best decision that you can. And that's what the Cowboys have done. Now, the Cowboys have done, I'm going to say, this offseason. I know a lot of people out there still don't believe in Brian Schottenheimer. I'm telling you, he didn't just fall off the salad truck. Brian Schottenheimer, the last time the Jets were relevant, with Mark Sanchez as quarterback, Brian Schottenheimer was that guy. Now, people will say, well, he was with Jacksonville, and they didn't do anything. Okay, well, Jacksonville ain't done much with anybody. But you look at the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson's statistically best years and balanced offense were with Brian Schottenheimer. And I'm wondering how Mike McCarthy, looking at what the Cowboys are doing right now versus what they did when he was here. If you're Mike McCarthy, and last year you saw Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, Stephon Gilmore, Hankins, Tony Pollard, Biotish, Tyron Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, all those guys and more go. And go. Whoa. And all you did was a little fire tornado there. And the only thing you did was Eric Kendricks and Zeke Elliott in the offseason for free agency. That's it. And now you sit here and you look, you see the Cowboys making trades, bringing in guys who are good character guys, guys that were former team captains. Instead of, running backs, at least you got Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. I'm not sure. We don't know if that's better than Zeke and Dalvin Cook, but they're younger at least. You've gone through and you've tried to plug all the holes. You re-signed Osa Odighizuwa before free agency even started. And you have to be looking and saying, what the hell? That's like you broke up with dude. That's like you broke up with dude because he said, I'm not the marrying type. And then you find out you've been gone a couple of months and now he's engaged. You're like, what the hell? What? I thought you weren't the marrying type. And so Mike McCarthy's gonna, what the hell? I thought you weren't the free agent type. What the hell? I thought you weren't the trading type. Why didn't you do all this stuff with me? What? Why didn't you do all those things with me? Maybe we could have worked out had you done those things with me. So, I'm not going to go through the draft picks now. I've done videos. Every time we drafted somebody, I had a video of the reaction and the thoughts on them in real time. I've got all those videos up. I've got the Pickens, who's unfollowed the Steelers and things, and thinks that he's going to get moved. And maybe, there's rumors about us having some trades out there. Well, the draft's over. We're working on the rookie, the undrafted players and bringing those guys into the fold and so on. But what I like more than anything else is a couple of things that's different. This is where I say it's different. Recognizing, Ben Johnson said this. He said he wants to go to an organization that works hand in hand with the coaches and admits to past mistakes. Do you remember that? Before he was interviewing, he said that, and that was a shot at the Dallas Cowboys. That was a shot at the Dallas Cowboys, basically saying, no, bro, you need to come on your hands and knees and say, we screwed up and we're going to do this stuff for you, with you, together. That's what that was. Or just sending him a message that I'm not interested. But you know what's funny is? That's exactly what the Dallas Cowboys have done. Stephen Jones has gone on and said, we recognize that, you got to have the horses in the race and things. And, we need a second wide receiver. This is the same guy who, after signing C.D. Lamb, said, well, C.D., he's got to understand, since he got the new contract, he's got to get more touches in the game and things, We need, 3 to 5 more touches a game and things like that. And, Dak Prescott, he's got to realize that he's going to have to do more with less. Those are the things that they said before. And it blew up in their face. Now, you got Catboy. Well, we're not done yet. We recognize that we need the talent on the roster and things. And, we're looking at making trades and trying to improve the roster and being selectively aggressive. That's what they're doing. They're doing exactly what Ben Johnson was saying he needed from an organization. As in, that's what a regular organization would do about winning. They're doing it with Brian Schottenheimer. Last year, Mike McCarthy and Mike Zimmer did not go to the combine. Your coach and defensive coordinator weren't at the combine because the coach was pissed off at him. Now, you hear about Brian Schottenheimer pounding the table about character guys and the kind of guys he wants. It's a sea change. And that the Cowboys, except for Micah Parsons' contract, can't fix everything at all at once. But the fact that they got Osa and Digazua done before free agency, the fact that they actually went out and got themselves players to fill in holes, the fact that they've got the coaches and the ownership and the scouts all working together to try and put together the best team. You got to look at it and say, this draft, on paper, at least right now, looks pretty good. And I don't want to hear anybody say, "Oh, he's already talking about Super." I'm not talking about Super Bowl. I'm just talking about running the organization better and going in a better direction. Because now the team is young. Now you're opening up a window, along with Dak Prescott's contract, that you got a young offensive line now that's been rebuilt. Your defense, you've gotten rid of the hot boys. Yeah. No, I hated the freaking hot boys. The hot boys are gone. It's done. And now you got Micah Parsons. I don't know what he's going to call him. I don't know. Is there a line pack? What do you call pride? Cowboys pride? I don't know. What are they? You tell me. But they got to be something. But all of these things are totally different from the Cowboys. There are going to be haters out there that are going to say the Cowboys didn't do anything. They drafted a broke down, injured cornerback and they reached on a. I don't care. I don't care. I like the moves that they made. I do. Standing back, getting to know these players, and we really will get to know them. I like at least the thought process behind it. But the job is not finished. The thing we talked about more than anything else is getting a number 2 legitimate wide receiver. We talked about it. Stephen Jones talked about it. And this is where I look at it and I say, okay, you filled in the holes. You got your running back by committee. You helped blister the offensive line. You helped your cornerback situation. You got yourself a linebacker. You got a bruising short yardage back. You've taken care of a lot of things. And at the moment, you've done all this and you're still sitting there with $37 million. With more money to come from Micah Parsons. You'll be somewhere near $50 million. I would love to see Micah Parsons' deal done soon, before, the mandatory minicamp. And I'd love to see you use that money to say, we're not going to be satisfied that we've done this much, that we've gone 90% of the way of making this team really good. We're going to go the rest of the way by supplementing, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add to this mix more. We're going to get that number 2 wide receiver that'll help stretch the field. We're going to get another defensive lineman that's experienced. And hell, we might take some more of that change and find ourselves another player or two. Don't be satisfied with what you've done right now. Don't kick back and say, we've done it, we've arrived. Keep pushing. Don't stop. You never get satisfied. You always have to keep driving for more. That's what I've always done in my life. Not that it's made me successful. I guess that's not a great example. But that's the only way I know how to do everything, is all the way. Completely. Bust your ass. And keep coming back for more. So I'm happy right now. happy. And I feel like I'm getting something different. I'm still cautiously optimistic with the Cowboys being selectively aggressive. Again, thank you, all of you, for being here and being part of the Cowboy Joe Boo Sports Report, the Cowboy Joe Boo family of YouTube channels. And I'm going to keep on pushing, keep on trying to bring you all the news that is the Dallas Cowboys. And with that being said, I want you all to remember, tell the people you love how much you love them. You might not get the chance again, and I love you guys. God willing, we'll be here tomorrow, and we'll find out some of the new Dallas Cowboys, the undrafted rookies that the Cowboys have signed. Peace out. Hope that wolf's not out here because I wouldn't hear him now that we cleaned up all the leaves.